Welcome back to the Crime Chronicles, where we peel back the layers of America's darkest mysteries. I'm your host, Christian J, and today we're diving into one of the most infamous unsolved cases in U.S. history. A killer who taunted police, played games with the press, left behind a trail of blood and cryptic puzzles. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer. It all began on December 20th, 1968. High school sweethearts Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday parked on Lake Herman Road in Benicia, California. It was supposed to be a quiet night, but what happened next was anything but. A car pulled beside them. The driver stepped out and fired a .22 caliber pistol. David was shot in the head at close range. Betty Lou tried to run, but she was shot 5 times in the back. No robbery, no sexual assault, just execution-style murder. The killer vanished in the night. Okay, I will say I am glad that there was no sexual assault. I am glad about that, because that would just be insult to injury at that point. Like, you already killed her, you already murdered her. Now you finna rape her? Like, come on now, you gotta do all that. Okay, you shot her, you killed her, you shot her 5 times, you murdered the girl. Leave her alone. You ain't gotta rape her. Okay? Like, you don't have to rape her. Seven months later, on July 4th, 1969, Darlene Farron and Michael Mageau were parked at Blue Rock Springs in Vallejo. A car approached, left, then returned. The driver exited and fired a 9mm pistol into the vehicle. Darlene was killed instantly. Michael, he survived barely. He described the shooter as a white male, 25 to 30 years old, stocky build, short brown hair, but the real twist came 40 minutes later. A call to the Vallejo Police Department said, "I want to report a double murder. If you go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway, you will find kids in a brown car. They were shot with a 9mm Luger. I also killed those kids last year. Goodbye." I'm thinking he thought that he killed both of them. I mean, we all know killers don't stay around to check their work. Because that would just be stupid, because, somebody could always easily walk up and catch him. Like, I guess he thought he killed Michael too, but Michael survived, barely. At least he was able to give them a description of the man. Then the letters came. On July 31st, 1969, 3 newspapers, the Vallejo Times-Herald, the San Francisco Chronicle, and the Examiner, received handwritten notes from someone claiming to be the killer. Each included 1/3 of the cipher, demanded that they be published or more people would die. The killer signed off with a symbol, a circle with a cross through it. Days later, another letter appeared saying, "This is the Zodiac speaking." And just like that, the name was born. Really? You making demands that all your letters be published or more people would die? Child gone somewhere. September 27, 1969, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were relaxing by Lake Beressa. A man approached them wearing a black executioner-style hoodie with the Zodiac symbol on his chest. He claimed to be an ex-convict, an escaped convict, needing money in a car. We all know how that went. He tied them up and stabbed him. Brian 6 times, Cecilia 10. He left a message on Brian's car door. Vallejo 12-20-68, 7/4/69, September 27th, 69, 6:30 by night, by knife. Child. Cecilia died 2 days later, but Brian survived. Child, you ruined somebody's car door to write the times you killed these people. So December 20th, 1969, July 4th, 1969. Actually, it was December 20th, 1968. Child, I told you these cases begin to me. December 20th, 1968. September 27th, 1969. I can't talk tonight. And July 4th, 1969. And all killed him at 6:30. He did it by a knife. The same knife that he stabbed him with. Cecilia died 2 days later and Brian survived. Okay, 2 people that survived is 2 people have survived his killing. I wonder, did he know? I wonder, did he know that these people were surviving? Because I mean, if he did know, why did I get the feeling that he probably went back to get them? Or maybe he was one of those people that was one of those killers that, oh, I'm not going to go back and get them, or something, I don't know. October 11th, 1969, San Francisco cab driver Paul Stein picked up a fare. Minutes later, he was shot in the head at Presidio Heights. The killer wiped down the cab. Oh, how nice. Well, how nice. You're doing some housekeeping. Stole Paul's wallet and tore off a piece of his bloody shirt. Then came another letter with the shirt piece enclosed. Proof the Zodiac was still watching. So you shot him, wiped down the cab. Guess he didn't want to get blood. He wanted to clean up all the blood. Oh, that was so nice. So the people that had nothing, they have to clean it. Wow, so considerate. You know what you could just do? You didn't have to shoot him. Honestly, I just really want to know what the motives were. That's what I want to know. I want to know the motives, because at this point, you're doing too much. Like, it's like you targeting these people. Like, first of all, how do you know where these people are at? That's the first question we should ask. How do we know where these people are? I mean, Paul, he drives a cab, so of course he would be somewhere in a cab. But Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, then Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau, then Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday. How you knew what they were? How you knew what those 6 people were? Because you had to be watching them, or I want to say had to know them, or something, or some type of way. Something is connected somewhere. Something is connected. I don't know. Over the next few years, the Zodiac sent out dozens of letters, some including ciphers, one famously unsolved to this day. Others mocked police, threatened the school children, and claimed up to 37 victims. One chilling quote in a letter was, and I quote, "I like killing people because it's so much fun. It's more fun than killing wild game in a forest because the man is the most dangerous animal of them all," unquote. Despite handwriting analysis, suspect sketches, and thousands of tips, the Zodiac was never caught. He was, that is still unsolved case to this day. Like, nobody even knows anything. I feel like somebody knows something, they just not coming forward. I feel like someone knows something, but nobody is coming forward. Over the decades, suspects emerged: Arthur Allen, Richard G., and more, but none were linked to the crimes. DNA evidence was inconclusive, and the case remains open. The Zodiac killer changed the way America viewed crime. He was the embodiment of fear, random, intelligent, theatrical. His legacy lives on in pop culture, books, and film. But the real story is still unsolved. I just know this has to haunt some of the police officers, because they can't find out who did this. I know it has to haunt some of the family members because they lost their family and police have no leads. Suspects that it deemed the DNA from the suspects deemed inconclusive. Now they don't know who killed their people. I knew that had to be hard. But I feel like I said, I feel like somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. Mark my words. Somebody knows something about the killer. They're just not saying nothing. So what do you make of the Zodiac? A ghost in the archives? A master manipulator? Or just a man who knew how to play the system? Next week. Next week, we transition into like a love story. A love romantic killer story. On Wednesday, the story of Bonnie and Clyde. And that Saturday, the story of Jack the Ripper. So until then, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, the shadows hold stories. We're here to tell them.